Welcome to part 7 of this Blender tutorial series where we're creating this Sci-Fi Combat Robot. If you haven't seen the previous parts, you can check out the tutorial playlist linked in the video description. So in the previous part, we had finished all the materials. So in this part, we're going to be rigging the robot, and then in the last part, we'll be creating an animation. Now in the previous part, we created all the materials, and so you might want to texture bake your model to use it in maybe a game engine or another 3D software. So if you are interested in texture baking your model, then I can highly recommend this texture baking add-on. Auto Bake is a really great Blender add-on for easy texture baking. Select the object that you want to bake, and then you can add any of the texture maps in the bake list. You can then change many of the settings like the name of the texture resolution, and where you want the add-on to export the textures. Then just hit the Auto Bake button, and the add-on will automatically texture bake all the textures and save them as files on your computer. You can find my full add-on review video with the link in the description, and if you purchase the add-on through my affiliate link, you'll be helping to support this channel. So we're going to start by rigging the feet here. So let's go down here and select the feet. And let's click over here on the modifiers because I want to be able to preview the modifiers. Now I want the feet to be able to rotate individually, so I want to apply the mirror modifier. So let's just hit Control A to apply the mirror modifier. So that's all geometry on either side. And I now want to separate them so that they're both their own object. So in edit mode, we're going to go into wireframe. We'll go to the vertex select, and we're just going to box select this side, and we're going to just hit P and separate by selection. So now this is its own object and this is its own object. Let's also open up the robot here. And if you want to, as you're kind of creating this, you can rename them. So this one, I'm going to call this one right foot. And then this one here, I'm going to call left foot. So now what I want to do is I want to set the origin points to where the rotation point is going to be on the objects so that it actually rotates correctly. So let's go into edit mode, and I'll go to the face select, and I'll select this face and then select this face because that is where the hinge is. So now what I'm going to do is hit Shift S, which will bring up a pie menu. We're going to drag our mouse down to cursor to selected and then let go of the Shift S. And so now the 3D cursor is right there on the hinge point. So for example, if we were to change the transform pivot point to 3D cursor, now it's going to rotate correctly. But I want it to rotate correctly just using the origin point. So let's change this back to median point. So now what we can do is we can click on object and we can set the origin, and we can set the origin to the 3D cursor. So now when we rotate this on the x-axis, you can see it's going to rotate correctly. Now in this video, we're going to be using that object set origin to 3D cursor a lot of times in this video. So I'm going to add it to my quick favorites. So you can see if you press the Q button, there's my quick favorites. So what I'll do is click on object set origin and then right click on add to quick favorites, and now if you hit Q, you can see there it is, origin to 3D cursor. Now if you want to save this so it's in all your other Blender projects, so it's always there in the quick favorites, you'll have to click on edit, preferences, and then you're going to have to just click on the save preferences button, and that way it'll always be in your future projects in the quick favorites. So let's select this object, go into edit mode, we can select this face and shift select this face, and then again just Shift S and then move your mouse down, and then you can just go back to object mode and then hit Q, origin to 3D cursor, or of course you can click on object, set origin, origin to 3D cursor. So now that rotates. Now when I rotate this, I don't want to have to be able to hit X, I just want it to be able to rotate only on the X axis. So if we open up the N side panel here, we can click on item, and there are going to be these transform constraints. So you can click on these lock icons to lock it. So for example, if I didn't want to be able to rotate the object at all, I could lock all of these values. So the X, the Y, and the Z. And then if I try to hit R to rotate, I can't rotate it around. So what I'm going to do is click and drag to lock all of the location, rotation, and scale. But I only want to be able to rotate it on the X axis. So we're going to uncheck the X rotation. So now when I hit R to rotate, I can only rotate it on the x-axis, so the rigging is going to work correctly. Now, if you have two objects and you want to do it for both objects at the same time, let me just unlock these. You can shift select both objects at once, and then you can hold down the Alt key, and you can lock all of them, and then keep the Alt key held down and unlock the X. And this way, if you click back and forth on both of them, it's going to do it for all of them at the same time. So it's going to do it for all the objects which were selected. So that is it for the feet rigging. So now what I want to do is pretty much do the same exact thing for this object here. So let's just open this up here. You can see we have a mirror modifier, so we need to click on the drop down and apply the mirror. If we go into edit mode, we're going to go into wireframe, we're going to go to the vertex select, we're just going to box select this side, and we'll hit P, separate by selection. So now we have two different objects. So we'll go into edit mode, and we're going to alt select that loop and shift alt select that loop. And then again, it's the same exact process. So we're going to be doing that pretty much the same exact process for the entire robot. So shift S, move your mouse down, go back to object mode and use Q, origin of the 3D cursor. So now that's going to rotate correctly. So we'll do the same thing here. So select that loop and that loop, shift S, move your mouse down, object mode, Q, origin to 3D cursor. So we're placing the cursor there and that's going to rotate. And then if you select both of them, hold down the Alt key and lock everything, but then unlock the X. So now that's going to rotate and that's going to rotate correctly. So we're just going to do the same exact thing for this object. So click on the drop down, apply the mirror, go into wireframe. We're just going to box select this side, separate it into its own object. And then if we go into edit mode of just this object, we're going to select that loop and that loop, or we can select that entire thing, shift S, cursor to selected. Back in object mode, we'll use Q and origin to 3D cursor. Then for this one, edit mode, select both of these, shift S, object mode, and then Q and origin to 3D cursor. So it's basically the same exact process. And then if you select both of these, hold down the Alt key, lock everything except the X axis. And now that's going to rotate correctly. Now the other parts of the leg aren't moving with the top parts, but that's okay. We're going to fix that later. But first I just want to make sure all the objects rotate correctly. Now for this piece here, I actually want this to rotate around on the X-axis as well, and it's going to kind of bend the robot over. So we'll go into edit mode, face select, we're going to select these two parts right there on either side, shift S, move your mouse down, cursor to selected, we'll go back to object mode and hit Q and origin to 3D cursor, and now that can rotate correctly. So we're going to lock all the values except the X. So there we go, that can rotate. So we're going to be parenting the top part of the body to this part so that you can kind of bend over. And then of course we can kind of animate or rig or move the legs. Now as for this piece here, I'm not going to have this piece move at all. So I'm going to just lock all the location, rotation, and scale so I can't move it. So let's now do the head. So the head, I just want to be able to rotate on the Z axis. Now we already applied the mirror modifier, so that's fine. And this is also just one object. So even if we had a mirror modifier, it wouldn't really matter. So I just want to lock everything except the rotation Z. And then if I try to rotate the head, it can only rotate around on the Z axis. Now I also want to rename some of these objects. So this object is already named head. This object I can rename to waist. And then this one here, I'm going to rename this to upper leg right. And then the other one here, this one is going to be called upper leg left. This one is going to be lower leg right. And then this one here is going to be lower leg left. So let's now rig the shoulders. So for the shoulders, I want them to be acting kind of like a ball and socket joint and rotate around like this. So let's first apply the mirror modifier. In edit mode, we're going to go to the vertex select, box select this side, and P by selection. So you can see this object here, it's already rotating correctly, but if it's not rotating correctly, you can hit / to go into local view, and you can just make sure you alt select the middle loop and then shift S, cursor to selected, and then just hit Q and origin to 3D cursor. So let's hit / to go out of local view. We'll go into local view of this object, and in edit mode, we're going to select that middle loop, shift S, cursor to selected, and then Q and origin to 3D cursor. So if you double tap the R key, that's going to use the trackball rotation, and so I can kind of rotate that around, and that is working like a ball and socket joint. So let's go out of local view. So let's just select the lights here, and I'm going to hit H to hide the lights for now because they're kind of in the way. And also this here, let's rename this to shoulder right, and this one here is going to be renamed to shoulder left. So now we can start to do the arms. So again, we're going to do the same exact process. So let's apply the mirror modifier. In wireframe, we're going to box select this side, separate it by its own selection. And then we want to select this object. And in edit mode, we're going to select that loop and that loop. Shift S, cursor to selected. And then in object mode, Q and cursor or origin to 3D cursor. We'll do the same thing for this object. So select this loop and this loop. Shift S, cursor to selected. In object mode, we'll use Q and origin to 3D cursor. So that can rotate like this, and then this piece can rotate like that. So we'll select both of these pieces, hold down the Alt key, lock everything, but not the X. Now it looks like there is an issue here. You can see if I try to rotate this, it looks like it's rotating on the Z axis instead. And this is because there is already a rotation value. So what I actually want to do is apply the rotation. So if I just hit Control A, I can apply the object's rotation. So now that the rotation is applied, the rotation is aligned up correctly because now all the rotation values are reset to 0. So if I now try to rotate this, you can see now it's rotating correctly. So now let's go here and do the gun piece. So here's the gun piece, that's how it's going to rotate. Now it looks like the origin's already in the correct spot, but if it isn't, you can select these two faces, Shift S, and then Q, and just use origin to 3D cursor. And then we're just going to lock everything except the X. So that's going to rotate correctly. We'll select this piece here, and this piece, I actually want to join them together so they rotate together. So I'll select this last and Control J so that they are one object. So now in edit mode, we're going to select these two faces here, Shift S, object mode, Q, and origin to 3D cursor. So the same exact process. And then we're going to lock everything except the X axis. Now this piece here is going to rotate on the Z. So in edit mode, we're going to select this face and this face, Shift S, cursor selected, object mode, Q, and origin to 3D cursor. And then we're going to lock everything except the Z axis. So now that's going to rotate around on the Z. Now this piece I want to be completely locked because it's just going to follow along with the other objects. So we're just going to lock everything. So that piece is locked. And then we just want to rig the claws. So in edit mode, select both of these faces, Shift S, and then Q, origin to 3D cursor. The same thing for this object. So select these two faces, Shift S, cursor to selected, and then in object mode, Q and origin to 3D cursor. And then we just want to lock everything except the X axis, and then the same thing for this one, lock everything except the X. So now that can rotate and that can rotate, and it looks like all the objects now are rotating correctly. So now I just want to parent all the objects to each other. So let's just go right down here. And so we're going to select this object first, and then we're going to shift select this object last. And so this is going to be the child object, and this is going to be the parent object. So the parent object will move the child. So you can hit Control P and you can set parent to object, keep, transform. So this way, this object is parented to this object. So if I rotate this object, it's going to move, and it's going to move the other object with it, but then this object can still move individually. And then to clear the rotations, you can shift select both objects and hit Alt R, and Alt R will clear the rotations. So we'll select this object, shift select this object last, Control P, we're going to set parent to object, keep, transform, so I can rotate this piece, but then this piece can rotate on its own. So I'll hit Control Z just to bring it back to how it was. So we're going to be doing pretty much the exact same process for the entire robot. So we'll select this, shift select this one last, so the lower leg to the upper leg, Control P, object, keep, transform, then this lower leg to the upper leg, Control P to object, keep, transform. Now I don't want to parent these upper legs to the waist because I want the waist to move the upper objects. So we're going to select the head, shift select the waist, Control P to object, keep, transform, select the waist, shift select the pelvis, Control P to object, keep, transform. And also I forgot to rename this object, so let's just call this pelvis. So now when I rotate this piece, it's going to rotate the upper torso of the robot. So now what I want to do is rig them from the bottom up. So we're going to parent these objects all the way up to the top. So I'll select the gun, shift select the arm, Control P, keep, transform, and then we'll select the gun and shift select the shoulder, Control P, object, keep, transform, and then the gun to the head and parent that as well. So now we can rotate the pelvis, then we can rotate the head, then we can double tap R to rotate the shoulder, then we can rotate the arm, and then we can rotate the gun. And then we can double tap A to select everything and hit Alt R, and Alt R is going to clear the rotations. Now I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that, Control Z to undo that, because when I rotated these, you can see when I rotate all of these and then select everything and hit Alt R, there is a big issue here. You can see that the robot's arm is moving over to the side. So just hit Control Z to undo that. So why that's happening is because we need to apply the rotations. So you can see this object here and this object here, they are already rotated by 90 degrees. So when we clear the rotations, it's going to mess that up. So with both of these objects selected, we're going to hit Control A and we're going to apply the rotation. And then also I do need to lock these objects. So with both of these shoulders selected, hold down the Alt key and we're going to lock the rotations or the locations and the scale, but we're not going to lock the rotations because I still want to be able to rotate this on the X, Y, and Z. So now it's a good idea just to test your model. So rotate this down, rotate the head over, you can rotate the shoulders and then the arm and then the gun. And then if you select everything, you can hit Alt R to clear the rotations and you can see the robot is back in its default pose. So that is correct. Now let's just rig this part here. So I just want to select both claws and then lastly select the wrist, Control P, object, keep transform. We can also rename the claw. So let's just call this claw 1. This one here, you can hit F2 to rename the object and I'm going to rename this to claw 2, or you can also just rename it in the outliner, but it's easier for me just to hit F2 with the object selected. And then this one I can rename to, let's just call it hand. This one here I can rename to wrist. And then this one here I can rename to left arm. And this is going to be left arm lower or lower left arm. And then this one here, instead of lower left arm, this is going to be upper left arm. So now we just want to continue to parent these. So we already parented these objects. So we now want to parent this object to the wrist. So shift select this last and then Control P and parent to object, this object to this object, Control P, and then this object to this object. And then the last one is going to be this object to the shoulder. So just parent that. And then finally, we want to parent the shoulder to the head. So Control P to object, keep transform. So let's make sure everything is working correctly. So I can rotate this down or up. We can also make him be in like a running pose. So I think it's a good idea when you finish rigging to like make him in a pose to make sure everything is working correctly and like make sure everything is just rigged correctly. So I can rotate the head. I can double tap R to rotate the shoulders, and then I can rotate this arm, and I can rotate the wrist, and then I can rotate the claws and everything's working correctly. Then we can also rotate this one, we can rotate this shoulder, and we can also rotate the gun. All right, so everything appears to be rigged correctly, and if we select everything, we can hit Alt R, Alt G, and Alt S. So Alt R is going to clear the rotations, Alt G will clear the movement or locations or the grab, and then Alt S will clear the scale. So because we had everything locked, it's not actually going to affect anything. So for example, this object has a value on the Z-axis, so it's actually moved up. But if I hit Alt G to clear the locations, it's not actually moving it because we have it locked. So that's what's really useful about the locking feature. There's just one more thing that I want to do, and that is that I need to add one object which is going to control everything. Because if I want to move the object or move the robot in the scene, I can't just like select the objects and move them because they're locked. So what I'm going to do is send to the 3D cursor. Let's go to the add menu and add a cube. And I'm going to go into edit mode and I'm going to delete. We're just going to delete the faces. So choose only faces. So this way we have like a wireframe. And then in edit mode, we're going to scale it up on the Z and bring it down just like that. So that we have just a nice little like box around the robot. So this is what I'm going to use for the controller of the robot. So what I want to do is select the pelvis or the hips, and then we're going to select the main controller last. Control P to object, keep transform. So now if we move this, it's not quite fully rigged yet. We also need to select the top legs and then select the Q blast and Control P to object. So now if we move this, this is going to move everything. Now what I want to do is make sure that all the location, rotation, and scales are the default. So these should be 0, this should be at 1, and that's because we just edited the object in edit mode. So now I can move this, and then this can move the entire robot, but then the robot can still move individually. And then if I select everything, Alt R, Alt G, and Alt S to clear the location, rotation, and scale. We can also just hit F2 to rename this, and this one I'm going to rename to Robot Controller. So let's just go into the rendered view to see how the robot is looking. I'll close the side panel, and we can also take the robot controller and I can drag it here into the robot collection. Let's just drag this up here, and I'm going to hit Alt H to unhide the lights. And so there we go. We now have a completely finished rigged robot. So if you want to like, pose the robot and create some really cool final renders, you could do that. I'm just going to save the project, and that's going to be it for this part. So in the last part, in part 8, which is the final part, we're going to be animating the robot. We're going to create like a cool environment and then actually render the scene. We're also going to do a little bit of compositing to make the final render look really cool. And so then we'll do like some video editing, add some sound effects, and get the finished animation. So when the final part is released, it's going to be linked in the video description, and I'll also have it right up there on the end screen. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the final part.